Beautiful people, how are you? All right, let's quickly share this thing on the Helm discourse. Okay, so um, welcome back to, I think it's episode 4. Depends on how successful or disastrous my screening efforts have been. Let me just silence myself here in the background. There we go. Okay, so last time on Space View, we just improved the files further. I implemented a more generic version of force. So implemented generic force to bodies in space. So for today, I've only got a limited amount of time. Don't we all always have a limited amount of time? I figure one of the things that I can do is I can do gravity. The problem, just unfortunately, with implementing the gravity in this game is that real gravity really sucks in this kind of game, right? You kind of you don't really want real gravity. It's not actually very pleasant because what ends up happening is just due to how the math works out, your poor ship can never actually like escape the planet. And the other problem as well is that the nice slingshot mechanics that featured in the original Star Control game, that stuff's just not, yeah, that stuff's just not in the game then, you know, so it really kind of like blows the fun out of it. If you guys ever watched the incredible show, um, The Expanse, I can't recommend The Expanse enough, but The Expanse actually, like, they really try to keep the physics on the human side of things, you know, as hard sci-fi as possible. And yeah, like it's if you ever look at the battles and stuff in that show, it's not always all that. It's not the kind of dogfight battle that one might have in the sky and in an atmosphere. Anyway, yeah, so that's the problem with the gravity. Um, what I have done previously is I gave Claude um, this thing to build in React, right? It actually got to a fairly early version early on, and I found an old clone of Star Control 2 Melee called Time Warp from the early 2000s, and I found that actually, like, it was interesting because if I gave that the gravity, if I gave Claude the gravity from that game, it was actually able to deduce Elm code, or at least I think that was in JavaScript. It was able to deduce like more accurate stuff. But the gravity is, to be honest, I don't actually understand how the Star Control 2 gravity mechanic actually like works mathematically. I just know that it's better than just asking the thing to put in gravity. So I guess the other thing we could do is try and improve the graphics. Yeah, we can also improve possibly like two-player combat, although I sort of want to leave the multiplayer until we actually like have the thing up in Lamdera. So so yeah, let me ponder that for a second. Just want to see if I have, I didn't check everything in yet. Okay, so I'll just say episode 3 changes. Let's just go with that. What did I not save now? I didn't save that. Alright, so just go with that. Just going to scroll through my files a bit and see if the inspiration hits me. Well, let's use our cybernetic extensions. Just close some of this stuff. You guys don't need to see my to-do lists, or my haven't done lists, as I like to call them. Let's quickly look here. So, see if anybody's done. Okay, well, now there's one viewer, but that was just me. Okay, let's have a look here. Okay, so I would like to put nice ship graphics in my browser again, which renders SVG. How can I add nice assets? Long ago I heard this quote that said, the idea of knowing anything is obsolete. What you need to know is where to find out once you need to know. Oh my soul! Would you look at that? That's awesome! Holy Moses! Just drew that. That's like. Let me show you the Shafixty shit. Let's see. Shafixty, where are they? Where are they? Yeah, look at that. Okay, it's not exactly the same, but it's pointy. Oh, that is excellent. Oh, let's just look, what code did it give us here? Okay, so it gave us straight that. So in Elm SVG is my person. I won't say my man. I'm streaming to a wide variety of people. Let's have a look here. I mean, if I think about it, like, I guess it's not exactly the kind of ship that I want to see. It's still kind of very SVG-ish, which is fine, I guess. I mean, I'm just massively impressed that it got that like from one shot. That is quite a thing. Let's have a look here. You write the question. Okay. All right. So it's the same thing. I wonder now if I go like this. Let's just see here. All right. So if I move myself out of the way. And your ship. So that's obviously the ship. So do that. Okay. So so I want to draw that. SVG path left wing, right wing. Okay, so let's say alter this to be embeddable into the ship function. I forgot that brief correct. So what did it do here? Render ship SVG. So it added this translation code and then it draws this. Let's just see what it does over here. So here it just basically does that and it draws the triangular polygon. So I guess if I took this stuff, okay, so I did fix one thing I didn't see because I have SVG attributes going in there. It's just acceptable. So this seems to be working. Right, okay, so I guess we can just shift that out with render ship. Lamdera live this. So let's see. Oh, okay. Obviously that's not quite as smooth. It's obviously not properly centered. And it's not pointing in the right direction. Okay, so let's just say, let's see how smart this thing can be. This needs to draw the ship centered so that it rotates around itself. So the ship needs to point to the right by default to match 0 radians. I don't actually know why that is. Why would 0, I guess, could do with the x-axis or something. Let's have a look see again. Ah, now we're holy Moses, guys! Like, just this is just insane. This is like absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. And okay, I think I'm just going to quickly share this to my LinkedIn as well. Let's quickly share that. Space view. Okay. So basically, I mean, with incredibly little expertise, I've basically got a game up and running. Like if I did this straight just in React, which unfortunately, like there's going to be downsides to building a more complicated thing just using the Claude artifacts. But if I did this in React, like I could have gotten here like within about half the time it would have taken me up until now. But I mean, this is now in Lamdera, so when it compiles, I know for a fact that it works. I know that it's reliable. Yeah, and I mean the LLM stuff is just like massively accelerated me now. I mean, this is bonkers. Okay. Okay, so let's quickly think here. Okay, right. So the ship graphics, I'm still definitely not satisfied, but I would say like the ship, like just that whole experience was awesome. So I think instead of gravity, let's actually go collisions. Right. So we basically want to add collisions. We go to the physics thing basically, right? At the moment we have physics, but we don't really check for collisions. So let me actually ask, let's see how clever this thing is. Where would I put the code to check for collisions between ships and do the transfer of momentum? Let's have a look there. So tick delta. Okay, so let's go look at the Claude and Lamdera thingy. So we already have frame tick. Interesting that it says tick. Let's have a look here. Alright, so I have this update game part. So it's wrong about that, which is interesting. Okay. I'm going to ask it the same question, but I'm going to go Control Enter now to do with code base. Because if I just ask it straight, like it's just going to tell me where I should implement stuff. Yep, there we go. There we go. It's all frame tick. It's all update game. Guys, if you haven't installed Cursor yet, like get on Cursor. It's something else. I mean, it's basically the same models that everybody's using. It's just like it integrates with the editor so well. Okay, so update this progressive velocity. Okay, so it's showing me the old stuff and the new stuff. Interesting. We will need to implement two new functions. Check ship collisions. This function will check for collisions between ships and apply momentum transfer. Transfer momentum between ships. This function will handle the physics of momentum transfer between two colliding ships. Okay, so let's just see. Okay, so I'm already exposing everything. Let's just take this. Let's take this in reverse order. I'm going to try and apply this straight and see what happens. See, I'm sort of worried about this because like it almost feels like it's taking away a lot of my thinking, but it's giving me a result like I like that word bonkers, right? Let's do that. So if I save that, that should, yeah, that's going to be an error. That's good. Why is it not red? Let's worry about that in a second. Let's add this. so it's added that. Okay, let's go check out Lamdera. This is weird. Why did it immediately? No. Whoa. No, can't be. Let's see. Moment of truth, people. No freaking way. Okay, I'm gonna build up some speed. I'm gonna hit that thing. Damn it. Okay, interesting. It doesn't really bounce. Sort of, I'm stuck to it. Ah. Now there we go. I was able to accelerate it. Now I wonder why it didn't bounce. Go look at what it did. Okay, so where is it implementing this? Oh, what is wrong with the language server today? Okay, so it's up there. Okay, so we update the game. So every frame tick, what it's doing. All right, so we get new ships. And basically we check the new ships. So we check their new positions. We check if there were collisions. And then we get out a list of collided ships and non-collided ships. And then we basically say that the final ships are the list of collided ships and non-collided ships. Okay, well that makes sense, I guess. Why has my tooling ceased working? Let's go close and reopen this thing quickly. Let's see if I've had no viewers. Not yet. Let's have a look here. So update game. Collided ships. Something is not spaced. Why is the output? Let's just see here. Outputs. Let's clear that. No Elm workspace contains. So if I press Control, I try to get my Elm workspace to work and then it bugged out. Oh boy, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to get everything the same. Shut your mouth when you beep at me. settings. To see what this is about. Sorry, I know this is like a sidebar here. This is just it's one of the few annoyances I really have, like, is just that the tooling, you know, yeah, again, like, nothing but love to whoever built this. Thank you, it's great. But yeah, I don't know exactly what's going on here. It seems to be kind of nice. Project who? Yep, got it. Let's see if restarting the other language server does anything. Nope. That's a frustration. Okay, well, let me try this. The one comment I've received so far was, "Isn't that the programmer's life?" When I was sitting there for 2 hours trying to get some tooling up and running. Yeah, that is the programmer's life. You do need a high amount of pain tolerance. Uh, let's see, there's a matrix chat channel. see where everybody at. Are we going to be cooking with gasoline? That is the question. The answer seems to be no gasoline for us. Bloody pointers. Let's try and use Element for the time being. Okay, is that working now? Okay, message cd. Okay. Okay, cool. That seems to be doing the trick. Where were we? It's one of the problems with having ADD and trying to code. You sort of like lose your whole reason for existence as you hunt the bug. Ah. If you ever see this screen in Lamdera, that is because you need to do a Lamdera reset. Mario, if you are watching this, I've had to do this for, do I even have, okay, let me see if Lamdera reset still works here. I am going to bet that it doesn't. Yeah, okay, so unfortunately, for whatever reason, Ubuntu WSL2 doesn't want to give Lamdera rights to remove files for some reason. But I have a workaround. Let me go to my other project. I have a little script that I built to actually like work around this. Just gotta copy that thing. If I was smarter, I'd probably know the direct copy instruction, which is CP or something, right? Oh, I have something to MC. Come on, MC, load, baby, load. Okay, that's fine. Let's something is up though. I'm getting axed, I guess. Let's just run boom. So all this does basically is that just resets all the artifacts for Lamdera. We run this now, we go look over here, we reload, we can get like a white screen, or it's going to load a while because it's actually compiling the whole project from scratch now. One of the many awesome things about Lamdera is it does like incremental compiles of only the stuff that's necessary. But if you do a full reset, then obviously, as the name, as the term implies, like you're gonna have to reload everything, or recompile everything and then build it. And I'm running it in the wrong darn folder. So let's see. Run this. Okay, I didn't run boom in here. Let's run that. Yes. Okay, let's look here. Now if we Should go faster. It's a much smaller project. Yes, went a lot faster. Okay, well, hold on, we missed that thing. So there isn't really like much of a transfer of momentum that I find interesting. Sort of seems to get stuck together. Check collisions. Transfer momentum. This a little bit more LME. Language server has stopped running for some freaking reason. Huh. Okay. Well, I clearly forgot that part of physics. Yeah. Okay, so clearly I'm doing something incorrect now. Let's just reload that. I'm going to add a shield radius to this. So I want to see if this is going to actually use the ship radius. Yeah, does that. Ship radius. Okay, let's just set these radii. Make it 100. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, let's see what happens now. Now we should have like a better idea of how this works. Boing. Seems to like graviton bomb it into itself. Alright, well, let's turn on my neural net and go see what happened. Physics. Okay, this code appears to be written in Elm, or a similar functional program. Defines a function transfer momentum that calculates the new velocity of two bodies after the collision. Let's break it down. Okay, function relative velocity between the bodies. That's function calculates relative velocity between the bodies. Collision normal. Direction of collision impulse, change in momentum. New velocities for the body. Calculation. Collision normal. Normalized vector from impulse based on relative velocity along the collision normal. Coefficient of restitution. New velocities. Applying the impulse to each body, scaled by the inverse mass. Look at something here. Doesn't use the radius. So it calculates some sort of an angle, I know. Don't know. Okay, so basically, I guess what it's not doing taking the radius into account. Should this take the radius into account? It was such a strange feeling working with AI because, like, obviously I've read some of this stuff like before somewhere. It's like coming up, but I can't remember the specifics. It's not like I'm sitting here thinking through, oh, okay, well, cool, that's kind of like how it works. I'm just like, well, you there, artificial brain, you solve this for me. I'm just going to take its word for it. It's saying that we can figure out the incidence there. be weird. Oh crap, that's terrible. That is awful. That is absolutely awful. Oh man. Okay, cool. Oh, Andre, my apologies. My apologies. I've been sitting here coding that damn thing. Oh, okay. Well, all right. So I'll recap it basically. I'll just restart everything at this point. I've been trying to add gravity to this damn thing. If I didn't check just now, like I wouldn't even have noticed that I'm not sharing my freaking screen. Let's just get Andre here. Andre, thank you very much. I hope you're still around, man. Okay, so basically just what I've been trying to do. I guess I'll cut the video from that embarrassing point. Geez, honestly, it's harder to stream than it is to develop stuff in Lamdera. So anyway, I've been trying to add collision detection, like proper collision detection to the system. I've mainly been relying on the AI, so now I have a large piece of code that I don't know what the hell to do with, which is, I guess, the way of the AI. Let's just see if Andre is still around. I hope he's still around. Let's just have a look quickly at our YouTube channel there. Just see if I can grab this and put it to the front. What the heck I did now? View. Okay, well, I have concurrent viewers are 0, so I lost my one viewer. Oh, hectic. Okay, oh, hectic. Okay, give me 1 second here. I just quickly want to see which platform that guy like started watching on. Elm discourse. Let's have a look here. Okay,
it's 22:30.
Doubt it's him. Oh, that's interesting. Let's have a look here. Damn it. We lost our one. We lost our one viewer. Damn it, man. See, this is why it's so critical in software development, that you've gotta get client retention. Like, you can't build stuff that makes your one client leave, because now Andre is never going to join again. That's it. It's the end of the line. Okay. We should put this stuff on my other screen here. Okay, I'm going to put this on the other screen the moment it goes live. Okay, well, cool. At least we can just have a look here if Andre is actually. All right. Anyway, sorry, Andre. My apologies, mate. My fault. Okay, I can now actually see. I had a secondary monitor. I can actually like see what I'm sharing again. Okay. Anyway, so back to the problem at hand. Problem at hand at the moment is basically like when I go in with this, it does a kind of like weird suction action. Okay, so I'm just going to restart this whole thing. Don't know what hickety heck I just did. Okay, let's just accept whatever that means. That didn't change anything. Okay, so let's just see if we can. Some sort of a hotkey is on. Man, it is not a good night for. It's not a good night for streaming. In my fourth stream, people, in my defense, let me quickly just restart this editor. Okay, so quickly find everywhere I use this. Obviously, that's not going to work, I guess. here. What to do now? Normalize to do anything. Let me quickly just have a look here. Let's see, we have people in the chat. There are people in the chat. Wolfgang Schuster is with us. Wolfgang, how's it going? All right. All right, so Wolfgang, thank you very much. I see I made it into this week's Elm Week newsletter. I'm very happy about that. Yeah, so this is definitely, I mean, compared to all you guys, like, I definitely think this is kind of like amateur hour here. I'm trying to recall physics from 22 years ago. Yeah, 22 years ago, I guess. So I'm just relying on. All right, so I actually kind of don't know what half of this stuff is. Okay, so coefficient of restitution, impulse scalar. Oh yeah, well, I'm going to take this thing's word for it that is how two bodies actually collide, not momentum as I had it. Let's have a look here. Quickly run this. We're alive. Yeah. Wolfgang, I don't know where it's going either, man. Just seeing your chats now. I'm definitely an amateur streamer, that's for sure. Okay, so Space Pew Pew, by the way, just to catch you up, Wolfgang. Oh, Space Pew Pew did not. Oh, it did not collide. Okay. Okay, but I know why that is. Because I didn't implement it. That's why, you silly willy. Silly willy. Let's just say collide. So obviously that's wrong. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Come on. Daddy needs a. Yes! Yes, I don't know what the AI did, but that's exactly how I thought it would go. Okay, we have space bumper cars going. Yes, Poppy. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, some of the spaceships are moving, Wolfgang. So we have a. Let's just have a look here, right? So basically, right now, I am. I'm not aware, like for my one viewer, my one faithful viewer out there. Thanks, Wolfgang. I'm not sure if you've ever played the old Star Control games, but yeah. So basically, this is sort of a clone of those old Star Control games, and yeah, essentially, I'm trying to recreate sort of like intership collision based on radii. So that's been working. I'm mainly just using Cursor to do almost all my thinking for me. It's actually quite embarrassing. Like, I don't recall this stuff at all. The impulse scalar and the coefficient of this I sort of remember. I sort of remember the coefficient of restitution when you have two things colliding, but very, very vaguely. All right, so we have this stuff working. Yeah, I think that should actually go in here. Like, we have collisions working, baby. I think that's pretty cool. So we have collisions working. We don't have gravity yet. I wonder if I should. Okay, I should definitely clean up this thing quickly while I have it in my brain. In my brain part. Just clean up the physics. I wonder if I can set up like. Set up some sort of a sound notification if somebody joins and chats. Okay, anyway, be that as it may, I'm going to just remove that. So that should break the front end. I love Lamdera so much. So collide, transfer momentum between check ship collisions. So okay, so I'm just going to go collide. Okay, so that's ship collisions. I wonder how I would do planetary collisions. I'm going to ask the AI. Check all. Okay, so check body collisions. Okay, let me just say check all collisions. See what this bad boy does with that little piece of information. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here basically is I'm trying to, yeah, that's not all collisions. Okay, let me give it some follow-up instructions. This should check all collisions between all bodies. Somebody once told me your bad attention span in physics is going to roll me. No, 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 no. Let's look here. Okay, so check collision. Okay, so see, I'm barely thinking now. Cool. Okay. Yeah, they were a lot of fun. It's arguably still my favorite game of all time was Star Control 2. That's really like, it's such a fun little dynamic and everything. Like the whole story of the game and everything was phenomenal. Okay, so just want to have a look at my little init model here. So here I would just basically have the model where I have all my ships. I have all the pew-pews that are being fired. We haven't implemented pew-pews yet. And then I have a planet. The planet has a position, a radius, and a gravity. Which kind of means that I need to add a mass, basically. So a massive mass. So just in case you guys haven't been using, I just want to show you this, right? So I just added mass there, and I check this stuff out. If I go there to types, and I go find my planet, and I literally look at that. It actually has context of what I just changed. Now this is all cursor, right? This is really a good editor flow. Okay, so obviously this is like not cool. So here I basically I have check ship collisions. So maybe I should make a new file and cut this out, paste it in there. So come back here, should save this. Now it's going to moan because there is no ship collisions. Take this out as well. I wonder if I can probably change this to body and body. Come on, cursor, do your thing. Do bodies not have mass in my model? They have mass. So this is like, okay, so that's, okay, that's interesting. Okay, so certainly that could not have been working then. The body type needs one, oh, okay, so sorry, body A, okay, so that's kind of what it was complaining about. Let's have a look here. I can't believe I still have one viewer. It's amazing. Okay, so it was complaining about, okay, so no check, okay, so check ship collisions up here. So, okay, I need to make this a little bit more generic. So yeah, this is where object-oriented programming would have been very tempting, very, very tempting, but it would have led you astray on once. Because we don't want to do that. We want to check all collisions. So that makes me think. So sort of not the most intuitive thing to do if you come from an object-oriented perspective. But what I could do is I could define like a body. Yeah, I've already defined like a body type. But here I have ships, which is a list. I have a planet and I have projectiles. Now, what I could do is I could basically say, listen, instead of that, I just have like a whole set of like body types. So in other words, I would have something to the effect of body is that. Then I might have like type alias body type. Actually, not alias. It would be like body type, and it would be like planet, rocket, projectile. And I guess my planet would have, okay, my body already has mass, but my planet would then have gravity. My rocket would have rotation and thrust. My projectile would have damage and lifetime. I get the feeling that this is where I make an enormous mistake. I must say though, like this is really like, once you start defining records like this, stuff just feels like it starts going wrong. It's just when I use this downstream, it's just typically unbelievably difficult for me to really like wrap my head around stuff. But you know, Wolfgang's still like, I've seen the stuff he does. Like if he's still watching this, he's going, "Damn it, man, just do this!" Sort of like yelling at. I could just tell that that's what he's doing, yelling at the screen. How simple the actual solution is here. Wolfgang, this stream is for noobs. Um, let's see here. See, ignore that for the time being. Oh, yeah, thanks for the comments there, Wolfgang. Yeah, it probably is a code smell, man. It probably is a code smell. Because, I mean, just to show you how smelly it is already, is like this is a body, this is a body, this is also a body, and this is also a body. So actually, like, I don't have a coherent list of bodies to actually like now do check general collisions with. Out of curiosity, Wolfgang, how would you do this? Like, I am completely open to other recommendations and suggestions here. By the way, I don't know how delayed the chat is, by the way. So yeah, if I say ping, please type pong. Ping, ping. Let's see now if it comes out. Okay, so okay. Okay, cool. Well, we delayed about a good 30 seconds. So I guess that makes two-way communication a little bit tough. Wolfgang, by the way, if you want to join me on like for like 10 minutes or something on Zoom or some other platform, you're more than welcome to. I would actually like appreciate the help. Obviously, only if you have like a moment. So look here. I'm trying to decide about this now. Yeah. No worries, Wolfgang. No worries at all, man. I understand. Okay. Let me then see what I could potentially do. If I redefined it this way, then I have my planet with my subsection of stuff there, basically. So then I would redefine this body differently. The bodies would have mass, position, and velocity. They would have different types. The rockets themselves would have sort of like a different rocket type then eventually. Well, the ships would have a different type, I guess. Just trying to think now if I'm not trying to over... Okay. I think what I'm going to do, right, is I think I'm going to leave the code smell in there for the time being. Right, so I'm going to comment this out. And what I'm going to do rather is I'm going to write a thing called list of all bodies. Okay, so let's just say list of bodies. So just basically say we're going to take the rocket model, give the list of bodies. Right. Okay, that's not what I want. Not good AI. Let's do this quickly. So initial state shifts so I basically just want to return model.chips plus lemons. What do you want to get the projectiles. Yeah. One operator, and I'm always asking for new operators in Elm, and I'm always getting the best arguments against why it's a terrible idea. One thing I would like is like an add one or add mini and auto concat type thing. I think that would be cool. Okay, so let's just do that. Finding it hard to believe that this is actually working as well as it's working. I am definitely doing something right now. Okay, this is a problem because now if I do it this way around, can I add this? I can't add that, can I? List of buddies. Oh my soul, it does work.
It's 23 hours.
Hey, we have a second viewer. Welcome, viewer. Thank you for looking at our stream. Okay, so just gonna add this. If I don't see a face, then keep looking at the wrong screen. So check collision, body. So okay, so okay, so let's over So okay, so now I just want to check all the collisions. So physics dot check collision. Right, so what we're doing is I'm showing that. Sorry about that. Showed my own screen there for a while again. That's really such a faux pas of mine. Trying to see now. So what do we do here? Okay, so we get a list of bodies that we then so trying to figure out what this thing has come up with here basically. So we get a list of bodies. It's going to be the correct time, can it? Let's see. Looks like it. Okay, so if we go here, then new projectiles, collided ships. I've thought myself into a little bit of a hole here. Okay, so the thing is, I guess the problem is basically like I can get all the bodies, so list of bodies, into one list. But now, once I have them in the list, to get them out of the list again. See, you're not going to be completely useless yet because AI is not going to help you out with this stuff. So sort of like the only thing that's really coming to my mind now, this is not typically something you need in a Helm apps that's just a form and doing some stuff on the front end. Not something I use typically. Here I would need some sort of a reverse definition. So because you don't have inheritance. Inheritance is tempting here, but I'm convinced it's the wrong way. Don't know why though. Maybe because I've become an Elm zealot. So pretty much every body in our system will have mass, position, velocity, and a radius. Okay. So, but what we then also want is we want a type of body, which is a body type. So type, body type equals planet, which has gravity. Yeah, so so type is a reserved word, so let's just make that body type. Okay, so now we have planets that can have gravity in addition to everything else. Well, everything will have gravity. We have rockets that have rotation and thrust, so rocket-based ships, basically. And if you played the original game, you'll know that everything was not rocket propelled. I don't want to spoil a later episode for you all, but there's some pretty cool old physics in there. Planet, rocket, projectile. Okay, so we kind of don't want that. We kind of want a ship. So let's just say type alt ship. What in the heck did it just do? Okay, so try to define that type. That's not going to work. Rocket. Channels, rotation, thrust, and just say alt ship. Just trying something out here. So, we get a type ship, so we get okay, yeah, so alt ship, alt ship, alt ship, alt ship. Alt ship has an alt ship type. This is confusing now because the propulsion system is specific to the ship. I'm wondering how in the heck I model that. See, the stream is now just me looking super confused for the first 25 minutes at the screen, complaining about stuff that you can't see. Now the last 25 minutes is also me looking confused. At least you get to see what I'm confused about. See, sometimes programming is just sitting here staring at the screen, hoping the solution comes to you. Okay, I am definitely committing you're not going to need it now. So let me stop committing you're not going to need it now. So let me just basically say that there is a ship type. I'm just going to call it a rocket type. And that has rotation and thrust. We have a projectile which has damage in a lifetime. All right, so those would just be straight pew pews. Yeah. So a friend of mine, Logan, if you're out there and you watch this is a shout out to you, my man. Always said that like one of the things he found very challenging in game development was doing it in a pure functional paradigm, we didn't have object orientation. I'm starting to see what the man meant. The body type, what kind of bodies do we have, right? So okay, so those are all the things they have. We have planets, we have rockets, we have projectiles. I'm just going to give this another go. I'm just going to see if I can come up with a alt ship type. It kind of makes sense. So rocket, propelled, so that's if I have, sorry, I know I'm not really like pulling the audience in here, because if you haven't played that game, none of what I'm doing here makes sense, I guess. Yeah, I'm going to let that lie for the time being. So projectile now has a clash, as does planet. So let me just call them both alt planet, alt ship, and alt projectile. All right, so now we kind of have the type on its head. So we have body type. Yeah, so we have body, the type body, and then we have body type. It tells you if it's a planet, if it's a ship, or if it's a projectile. Now if we go back here and we change this inner thing, on the front end, where is it? Okay, so we have planet, projectiles, and that, so let's just call it alt game state. Type alias alt game state. Okay, so if I go there now and I say, you gotta love this thing. Just incredible. This is literally like, I barely understand what I did with my types. Look at what this thing translated. This is bonkers. Bonkers. Okay, so now it took what we had there and it's now transformed it into this. We have all our bodies, right? So we have one ship. We need a second ship. So this starts to get interesting now, because now we have to actually like track the bodies as well. So we need body IDs. See, this is what happens if you just haphazardly decide you want to do a thing and you don't really think through it. You end up in a situation like this. That's all right. We're here to have fun. I don't know about you, but I'm having fun. Okay, so we have our alt state. Just wondering if I should add to alt body just an ID. Probably. Okay, cool. So we got that. Okay, so now on every frame tick, we basically have like a. I want to see, am I watching myself? What's up? Sorry, that wasn't supposed to share that. I just want to see if somebody commented here on me not showing my face. Okay, luckily not. Okay, cool. Okay, so we can actually move all objects in space now on the same thing, so including the planet. So we could actually just go like, okay, but this is game state, so if we want to update game state, we have alt game state, which has those three things combined in there with the space that it is taking place in. So let's alter that to alt game state, alt game state, alt game state. Yes, this is so bonkers. Okay, well, obviously I've broken a lot of stuff now, so model, new game state. Okay, so let's just go there. Let's just make that alt game state. Alt state. So one of the great things about Elm that I'm going to keep saying is that literally just as I change my types, everything that breaks just turns red. Like, so I now have new bodies, but it's no longer necessary for me to do move on projectiles because they would move. So let's see if it could. Okay, it doesn't quite know what that is. That's fine. Okay, so let me jump to rotation, rotation, rotation. Okay, now this does become a little bit complicated. Here I must say though, this does become a little bit complicated. If anybody wants to drop me any advice in the chat, this would be most welcome at this point. So the problem now is that I want to run rotate, but I only want to run rotate on body types that actually have I only want to run rotate on body types that actually have the type rocket. Okay, well, I guess what I could do is just say, as this thing, also make alt rotate, see what it comes up with. I don't like what it came up with, so I'm going to write my own thing. We have another concurrent viewer. Viewer in the hizzy. Just going to throw myself onto the screen again so I can stop looking for validation from the chat. Let's have a look. Ugh, damn it. Horizontal. So, okay, so I just want to write alt rotate, direction, alt body. So now I guess what I want to do is I want to go case body, dot body type of alt ship, otherwise just do that. Let's just go like ship. Direction. I definitely don't want to employ that. So that is going to be I forgot my ships have rotation speeds. Let's have a look here. All right, so Hannes, my son, so freaking good to see you are online. How's it going, buddy? How is it going? Welcome to another episode of Skulk presses the tab key and has the AI do all his work for him. Let's have a look here. Alt ship rotation through. that thrust is irrelevant. Thank you. I think I'm gonna rename the channel to Skull Presses the Tab Key. I think I'm definitely gonna do that. Thanks, Wolfgang. Listen, thank you very much for joining me, man. I really appreciate it. It's great not to do this stuff alone, and thanks for all your other help in the Discord stuff. Thanks, mate. Have a nice evening. Okay. So we want the. Okay, so okay, honest, what I can like to do now is I have now changed the types of my ships from one type of type to another type of type. And now I can like to want to rotate my ships, but I'm a little bit confused now. So, oh, why are you can like to be like this Elm formatter?
It's 23:30.
Honest, talk to me, buddy. What's up on your side? What are you up to, man? Now, there's like a 30-second ping time delay, by the way. So if I say ping, you say pong. Ping, ping. Yeah, that's a good 30 seconds. So this is not what I asked the AI to do. So yeah, so this AI stuff definitely like, there's definitely a bunch of weird things going on here. I'm good, thanks, man. I'm good. Yeah, Strong's there with your deadline as well, hey? Midnight deadline adventures aren't quite as much fun as midnight, coding your own nonsense adventures. So sterkte. Okay, so body type, that's not. Hmm. Okay, so one. should probably talk more in my stream. Blah 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 blah. I change my YouTube channel name quickly. Oh yeah, no, totally, dude. You should totally do that. I was chatting to the boss man today on the phone actually, and yeah, maybe some of the guys who are in between something to do at the moment, or one of them or something, can join us a little bit. I think the thing is, like, if you chat to a guy like Wolfgang or some of the other guys on the Lamdera Discord, you're really going to find, you know, like pretty crazy smart people who know all kinds of crazy smart stuff. The thing I sort of just appreciate about Lamdera and Elm is it's actually very, very simple to write reliable code. You know, it's the kind of thing a newbie can figure out. And almost everything you build, this game thing is a little bit more complicated than I gave it. Everything is more complicated than we ever give it credit for in software. But like lots of the other stuff we built is very, very straightforward. It's extremely simple. You know, it's sort of a, I want to say it's almost a happy coincidence that it is also like formally verifiable and that kind of stuff. So I'm going to quickly change my customization, basic info, presses the tab key. All right, so hopefully that doesn't actually like kill the stream now. Alt check legends. Okay, yeah, so that's obviously broken. So yeah, I'm getting really lazy. I'm just basically telling I'm just basically telling this thing to do things for me. Oh, literally saying like do, and it just does the thing. Okay, so here we check the body position, X position, Y. Okay, so that's actually the same. That's actually kind of cool. So, honest, what are you guys building at the moment? What is the deadline for? Please tell me it's not life healthcare. Yeah, I have become prompter 100 indeed. I don't even really prompt anymore. I just go like, hey, thing, make happen. So why is alt check collision being weird with me? Um, oh, brother, I still take your outing at Life Healthcare there as the most ridiculous display of loyalty. I have met one person more loyal than you since then, like, but only one person. I, I yeah, I still like tell that story, and I'm like, you're the doctor who went into like the you know, went to the family's house, and they're like, the dad was like, the kid's not doing well, and you go into you know, you basically like go into the kid's room and you go, listen, it's worse than you feared, and unfortunately your child has passed away. And then basically the father goes, I'm sorry, but that's unacceptable, you know. And then your initial idea is basically that you go, well, he's grieving and I should be diplomatic. So you go back into the room, you gather your thoughts, sort of like go out, you say like, sorry sir, but it is quite severe, like it's very, and he just keeps sending you back going, not good enough, I refuse to take it as an answer, to the point of it becoming macabre. What was that project you worked on? I remember it had like it had like 4 letters, like PTSD or something. What was that thing called? Oh man, yeah, owns, bro. I, oh man, oh man. I looked up that Grand Saboteur at that place the other day. I see he is in New Zealand now. Um, yes, yo, yo. I could just remember like me and Kim going into that meeting with him. I think it was the first meeting I actually had, you know, we had something to present to him, and I really felt like yes, Kim did such a great job on the user experience and everything there, and I was sitting there and just started ripping this thing apart. And that guy with the red hair was sitting there basically at one point. He goes like, "It's too listy. The interface is too listy." Not, you know, and I'm like, oh, okay, you know, I'm still thinking this is a sincere person. Like, oh, okay, okay. Like we listened to his whole thing, and that boss of theirs who went, you know, told Kim, it's not too bad for a first pass. I'd say about 4 out of 10. And I could just see this woman like holding the tears back, just like, you know, like shaking. I'm like, what's going on here? And and I asked that ginger dude, like, listen, um, you know, do you have some, you know, some feedback? Do you, you know, do you have a preference for something, you know, um, you know, if you don't like the list, and the guy like looking at me going, they pay me to do other things. It's still, that's still one of the craziest experiences ever. doing wrong here? Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I still think she has the most colorful review of her work in history. When when I saw something she did the first time and said like, "Tell her it blew my tits right off." Yeah, that is actually a large part of what I want to accomplish with this thing. Honest, is I want to make it multiplayer. Now, one of the things about Lamdera is that Lamdera in the backend actually runs on Node.js via WebSockets. So it uses like a byte encoding format to basically pump extremely minimal messages across the WebSocket stuff. So you have a very, very low communication overhead, and you should have like really, really good latency as well. But the crazy thing is that Mario, the guy who makes Lamdera, he did some tests a while back, and basically he says that almost every Lamdera message like resolves and persists within, well, basically resolves within 1 nanosecond. Right. So I did some rough um, back of a napkin type calculations, or I had the AI do it for me. But I figured that I should be able to host about 200 concurrent games on like one Lamdera instance. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's not exactly like this is not going to be a heavy duty game by any stretch of the imagination at the end of the day. But it should basically demonstrate. Well, the one thing is like how you can maintain this stuff and how you can build it. And the other thing it should demonstrate is just like how crazy responsive Lamdera actually is. So I definitely want to make it multiplayer, and I actually want the physics to resolve on the server, because even though it's quite a bit of, quite a bit of physics is for modern computer, it's not quite a bit of physics, but it'll be a lot of stuff that's happening. Like server side to actually like keep the game state uh, like coherent between players and everything. And then what I hopefully, God willingly, and if I get there, I also want to do a like elo score. So yeah, so basically you'll always be ranked with somebody who's approximately as good as you are. And the other really cool thing about elos are that they should be relatively bot protected, bot resistant. Because if the bot's too good, the bot will just play other bots or players as good as the bot. Whereas any player, no matter how good or how bad he is, he'll get that nice feeling of winning like between 45 and 55% of the time, which is where the human brain stays most engaged. Stuff gets boring when you lose more than that or you win more than that.
It's 0 hours.
Oh shit, it is very late. Yeah, thanks, man. I hope I get to the point where I actually like get like a little something out. Right now, I must say, I feel like I'm a little bit stuck in the weeds here. Yeah, cheers, mate. Have a nice evening. Thanks for joining me. Hey, appreciate it. All right, well, since I've lost my last viewer, I think I'm going to call it a night. Thanks, everybody.